I got on. They were like, hey, Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Police are looking for this man who they say targeted his victim, shooting him at point-blank range. He's seen walking up to the barber shop on the 5900 block of Germantown Avenue, then running from the scene. It happened at 1:15 in the afternoon, Thursday, April 6th. The 35-year-old victim sat down for a haircut and was murdered in cold blood. The scene was just feet from the 14th Police District. The crime scene investigation left neighbors uneasy.
It's right around the corner from the police station, so it's hard to believe.
Imagine a town so peaceful, so ordinary, that people leave their doors unlocked without a second thought. The kind of place where neighbors wave from their porches, kids ride their bikes until the streetlights flicker on, and the biggest excitement is the local diner's daily special. Now picture that peace shattering in an instant, like a mirror dropped onto cold, hard pavement, each jagged piece reflecting the horror of what was left behind. That's exactly what happened on October 7th, 2023. It was just another Saturday morning. The sun poured through the windows of a small-town barbershop, casting warm streaks of gold onto worn leather chairs. The air smelled of shaving cream and freshly brewed coffee. Regulars flipped through old magazines, chatting about the weather, while a 6-year-old boy played with a toy car on the floor, his quiet laughter blending with the rhythmic snip of scissors. And then, the door swung open. A man walked in, but something was off. He wore a mask, not a simple cloth or medical mask, but something that covered his entire face, smooth and expressionless. He didn't speak. He didn't move right away. He just stood there, a shadow where no shadow belonged. At first, people weren't sure how to react. Was this a joke? A misunderstanding? But as the silence stretched and the tension thickened, an unspoken truth settled over the room. Something was very, very wrong. No one in that barbershop could have predicted what would happen next. No one could have guessed that within minutes, a life would be lost, a community would be shaken, and a small town would never feel safe again. This is the story of Nitiffa Wade, a mother, a businesswoman, a woman with dreams, love, and a life ahead of her, until that masked man walked through the door. What happened inside that barbershop? Who was behind the mask? And why did this quiet town become the setting for an unthinkable tragedy? Let's take a step back. Before the barbershop, before the masked man, before everything changed. To get why this hit so hard, you need to know where it happened. This isn't the peaceful, unlocked door town you might picture. This is North Philadelphia, a place with a pulse all its own, tough, proud, and carrying scars. Imagine narrow streets packed tight with row houses. Some shine with fresh paint and flowers out front. Others sit quiet, windows dark, like they've given up. Kids chase each other down sidewalks, their shouts bouncing off brick walls. Corner stores hum with life, dishing out candy and gossip. It's loud, it's alive, but it's heavy too. Sirens cut through the air day and night, a sound nobody blinks at anymore. This place has history. Years ago, it was a voice, strong and unmissable. People marched here, fought for justice, built something real. Back then, it was a hub, a spark. But time moved on. This is where our story starts. Not in some quiet, sleepy town, but right here, in this messy, vibrant mix. The barbershop wasn't just a spot to get a fade. It was a lifeline, a place where people dropped their guards, swapped stories, felt safe. In a neighborhood where trust is rare, that shop was gold. Then came October 7th, 2023. A regular Saturday, sun shining, coffee brewing, laughter in the air, until that door swung open. The masked man didn't just step into a room. He stepped into a world already stretched thin, a community that didn't need more pain. What he did in those next few minutes, it didn't just break the silence. It broke everything. Why this shop? Why this day? How does a place so full of life end up a crime scene? Stick around. The answers are coming, and they'll hit harder than you think. Here's where it starts. A Saturday morning in North Philadelphia. The sun's up, the streets are buzzing, and Nitiffa Wade steps into a barber shop. She's there for her son, his first big haircut. She's laughing, snapping pictures, the kind of mum who makes every moment count. She doesn't see the man in the corner, doesn't catch the way his eyes lock on her. Not yet. This isn't just another day. This is the day. The one that flips her world upside down. She's standing there, all confidence and light, when the door swings open. A figure walks in, hood up, hands low. The barbershop goes quiet. Too quiet. Someone whispers, "Who's that?" No one knows, but Nitiffa feels it. That chill, that shift. She turns her head, just a little, then it happens. A gunshot cracks the air. 1, 2, 3. People scream, chairs topple, glass shatters. Nitiffa hits the floor. Her son's crying, reaching for her. She's reaching back, but she's not moving. Blood pools fast, too fast. The man doesn't run. He stands there, staring down at her. Then he's gone. Out the door like he was never there. Who was he? Why her? Cops swarm the scene. Yellow tape goes up. Witnesses stammer, point fingers, but no one's sure what they saw. "It was quick," one guy says. "He didn't even flinch." Nitiffa's on the ground, still. Paramedics rush in, but her eyes are blank. Her son's with a stranger now, sobbing, clutching her phone. It's chaos. Loud, messy, raw, and in the middle of it, one question burns. Why Nitiffa Wade? She wasn't random, that much is clear. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong, or a stray bullet. This was personal. The way he stood there, calm, watching her fall. It wasn't chance. Someone wanted her gone. But who? Her business rivals? An old friend turned enemy? Or something deeper, tied to that past she left behind? Here's where it twists. Hours later, cops find something. A scrap of paper in the barbershop trash. It's crumpled, stained, but there's writing. A name, Kisses. Her nickname, scribbled next to it. A date, last week. What does it mean? A meeting? A warning? It's not much, but it's enough to make your skin crawl. Someone knew she'd be there. Someone planned this. Her family's in shock. Her oldest daughter, 18, stares at the TV as the news replays the story. "She was fine yesterday," she whispers. "We were planning a trip." Her father, the one she gave $110,000, can't speak. He just holds her picture, the one from her nursing school graduation. They don't have answers. No one does. But the questions keep piling up. The streets are talking now. Rumors fly, fast and wild. Some say it's tied to her business. She'd stepped on toes, made enemies. Others point to North Philly, where old grudges never die. "She used to run with a rough crowd," a neighbor mutters. Maybe they caught up. But nothing sticks. Not yet. Cops dig deeper. They pull her phone records, her bank statements. Every call, every dollar, it's a map to her life. And it's leading somewhere dark. A name keeps popping up. Someone she called late at night, over and over. Someone who's gone silent now. Who was he? A partner? A threat? The pieces don't fit yet, but they're close. Too close. Nitiffa's story isn't over. She was a fighter, remember? Even now she's pulling us in, demanding we look harder. What did she know? Who did she trust? And why did that trust end with a bullet? The answers are out there. They're coming. And when they hit, nothing will be the same. Stick around. This is just the start. Picture this. Nitiffa Wade's life was finally coming together. A tough climb from nothing to something. A thriving business, a happy kid, a fresh start. October 7th, 2023 should have been just another good day. She walks into that North Philly barbershop, her 6-year-old son bouncing beside her, ready for his big haircut moment. She's smiling, snapping pics, soaking it all in. She doesn't see the shadow lurking outside. Her ex-husband, Armand Hilton, does. He's been watching her every move. Let's rewind the tape. Surveillance catches it all. A silver Pontiac rolls up at 11:45 a.m., parks across the street. The driver, hood up, face hidden, sits still, eyes fixed on the barber shop. He's not here to chat. He's not here to browse. He's here for her. At noon sharp, he steps out, mask on, hands steady. He pushes through the door, and the room doesn't even blink until he pulls the gun. 2 shots rip through the air. One slams into her chest. The second cracks her skull. She drops fast, blood pooling, her son's screams echoing off the walls. The masked man doesn't flinch. He spins, bolts outside, and jumps into the Pontiac. Tires scream as he peels away, gone before anyone can catch a breath. Inside, it's pure chaos. Chairs crash, people scramble. A barber grabs the phone, hands shaking, yelling into 911. She's down. She's not moving. Her son clings to a stranger, tears streaming, voice lost in the panic. Outside, the crowd grows, neighbors, gawkers, phones out, filming the nightmare. By 2 p.m., cops swarm in. Tape goes up. Cameras flash. Nitiffa's body lies under a sheet. Still warm, but already a memory.
If it was a disguise, it's despicable behavior because it sort of brings unnecessary attention to the Muslim community. If it wasn't a disguise, it's even more despicable because not only was it the month of Ramadan, the blessed month, the person committed one of the gravest crimes in Islam, which was murder.
Here's the kicker. This wasn't some random hit. The police see it right away. The guy didn't rob the till, didn't wave the gun around. He walked in, shot her, and left. Clean. Precise. Like he'd rehearsed it. Footage shows the Pontiac circling earlier. Twice. He knew her schedule, knew where she'd be, knew she'd never see it coming. This was personal. A cold, calculated kill. But why? What pushed Armand Hilton, a man she once loved, once trusted, to stalk her, mask up, and end her life in broad daylight? The answer's a jagged edge of betrayal, money, and a secret she took to the grave. He wasn't just her ex. He was her shadow, waiting for years to step into the light. The cops dig deeper. Armand's name pops up fast. He's got no alibi. His car matches the Pontiac's plates. Witnesses spot him near her house days before. Watching, always watching. But here's where it twists. He's not alone. Someone else was in on it. Someone who knew Nitiffa's every step. Someone who wanted her gone just as bad. The gun's still out there. The mask's still missing. And Armand? He's vanished. Who's pulling the strings? What did Nitiffa know that made her a target? Hang on tight, because the next move changes everything. Hours after the shots echoed, police had a name. Armand Hilton, Nitiffa's ex-husband, a guy with a history, kidnapping, assault, a walking red flag. Now, he's the prime suspect in her murder. But he's not in cuffs. He's gone, slipped away like smoke. Cops didn't waste time. By nightfall, his mugshot was everywhere. TVs, billboards, phones. Wanted, Armand Hilton, armed and dangerous. His past was ugly. This question marked a whole new level. A killer on the loose and a $20,000 reward dangling for anyone brave enough to point the way. That silver Pontiac, it's their golden ticket. Security cameras caught it tearing through the streets, tires screeching, plates came back stolen. Dead end. But the cops have more. Tire marks, a smudged fingerprint, a guy at the corner store who saw ink on Armand's arm. Little pieces building a puzzle. Weeks drag on. The phone lines buzz with tips. A trucker spots him at a diner. A clerk swears he bought cigarettes at 3 a.m. Each call pulls the net tighter, but Armand's a step ahead. He's dodged the law before. Now, with the stakes sky high, he's a shadow. That $20,000 reward? It's burning a hole in someone's pocket. Who's going to crack first? North Philly's still reeling. Nitiffa's funeral packed the church. Tears, flowers, a little boy asking for his mum. Outside her barbershop, candles flicker next to notes. Rest easy, kisses. Her son's face says it all. Confusion, pain, a hole that won't close. The streets are loud. Protests flare up. Why was he free? They yell. Armand's rap sheet wasn't news. He'd been caged before, always clawing back out. Now, a family's shattered, and the questions cut deep. Then the talk shifts. She knew he was trouble, some mutter. Why stay quiet? Others bite back. Who thinks their ex will pull a gun? The arguments split the neighborhood. Guilt or betrayal, fear or trust. Nitiffa Wade's story is more than a crime. It's a reminder of how quickly life can unravel and how justice can slip away. Think about it. One day, you're a mother, hustling to build a business, raising kids, holding your community together. The next, you're gone, taken out by someone who should have been a memory, not a threat. Nitiffa's ex, Armand Hilton, didn't just pull a trigger, he shattered a family, left a neighborhood reeling, and exposed cracks in a system that's supposed to protect us. Life's fragile, a thread that can snap in an instant. And justice? Too often, it's a shadow that fades when you need it most. Nitiffa's story forces us to look at that hard truth. Bad things happen fast, and the fallout lingers longer than the headlines. So let's dig deeper. Should repeat offenders like Armand face stricter limits? This guy wasn't new to trouble. His record reads like a warning label nobody heeded. Should the system have drawn a harder line after his first offense, his second, his third? Could locking him down tighter have kept Nitiffa breathing, laughing, raising her kids? And here's the kicker. Could anything have saved Nitiffa? Was it the law, the courts, a missed call for help, or just fate dealing a rotten hand? These aren't easy answers. They're messy, raw, and worth wrestling with. What do you think? Where's the line between punishment and prevention? I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Should the system change? Does it need a gut check, a rewrite, or is this just the world we've got? Drop your take below. Let's get this conversation going. And if stories like Nitiffa's hit you hard, if you want more of this real, unfiltered stuff, hit subscribe. We're not done here. There's more to unpack, more lives to shine a light on. Your voice matters, so bring it. Nitiffa Wade isn't just a name on a page. She's a mother whose kids still feel her absence, a fighter whose community still echoes her strength. Nitiffa's legacy lives in her kids and her community. May she rest in peace, and may justice find its way. Her story doesn't end with a gunshot or a fugitive on the run. It lives in the push for something better, in remembering her, in demanding more from a system that failed her. So let's not let this fade. Keep her name alive. Keep the fight alive. Because if justice is out there, it's on us to make sure it stops running and starts catching up. Nitiffa's story screams one thing. Life breaks fast. Justice lags. Should Armand have been caged sooner? Could she still be here? Drop it below. Fix this mess or not? Want more? Hit subscribe now. Her kids carry her fight. May she rest. May justice run him down. That town's still cracked open.